We got a response to a 1082 on Craig and Allen. Units respond code 2.
Damn, where's Craig and Allen at? I better Google this right.
Copy that, responding code 2.
Hi, Google.
We got shots fired. Respond code 3, all units.
So I feel like my YouTube content's been pretty lacking recently, so I figured I might just start keeping this camera around with me more and just kind of, what do they call it, video logging. But yeah, so I'm trying to get my HP Z800 more stable, like actually running. I got the power supply back from my dad, and I'd never actually mounted the motherboard, and you know, I need to get this project moving along somewhat, so I'm actually hot gluing all the studs in, but I'm out of hot glue, so I'm about to head to Walmart and get some hot glue, and I really want some White Castle burgers, so I'm probably going to get some of that too. And I have JB welded Dinky's axle. Oh, and also I'm trying to get this living room area all nice and done. I've rigged up this couch to hell and back. There's a lot of duct tape holding stuff together, and there's some drywall screws in the back holding things together, and it's you know, that spring already blew open, but I don't care. And hopefully this foam will help hold some things together, and I'm going to wrap that in the sheets and stuff. And when this computer's up and going, I'm going to put my GTX 295 in it. It's not the computer I want the 295 to live in, but again, I don't have the parts to build that computer. And this would be a good temporarily home for it, because the GTX 295 can run almost everything the GTX 480 can run. So that'll be fun. It's also getting this graphics card here. I think it's like a 6500 or something like that. But the reason why is it's going to get it, it's because it has component out. So this computer can be used for Netflix on this TV. So I actually could Netflix and chill. Yeah. So I got a snowblower in the dumpster. It was missing a gas tank. And it was missing the throttle was broken off. So I welded a bolt on here. And believe it or not, the carb didn't need cleaned. And it's missing the recoil, but I've just been wrapping rope around it. It is a 1-2 pull starter, actually. So, Dinky, I have JB welded the rear end. Now, my JB weld job failed before, but I was popping wheelies like crazy and abusing the hell out of it, seeing what it could take to break it. And I think if I'm not too crazy, it might actually take quite a bit of abuse. As far as actually, like, going on trails and stuff goes. Because it's really rough to be popping wheelies. Not used to riding Dinky, and it feels really tall. Gonna let her warm up for a minute. I probably should check the oil, actually. By the way, Dinky still does have a flat. The great stuff failed, and you know what? I can still drive it with a flat. So you know, we're just too poor to not have a flat tire. So we're just gonna have a flat tire. That's just how Dinky is now. It has a flat tire. Deal with it. You know what ought to go away? Receipts. They should be optional. You know, I should be able to click no. I don't like the fact that every store I go in, I have to have a hunk of paper that I'm just gonna throw out. I mean, if I'm gonna get something that has the potential to break, sure. But I don't need a receipt for fucking White Castles and glue sticks. I haven't inspected the damage, but I already can feel that I have lost at least one of my front bolts. JD Weld cannot hold up the, I guess what cast aluminum couldn't hold up to, so I better keep it going fast. I have a chance to pass without the lead. Alright. Let's see what we have for bolts. Of course, I won't be able to see it, but I'll definitely be able to feel it. First, let's feel down here. No bolt. Completely gone. Are you kidding me? And I actually yeah, it's gone. Hole completely gone. And I JB welded the bolt to the support, too. It's gone. Let's check this side. And no, it's gone. It's gone. They're gone on both sides. Hell. This is a problem I don't know how to fix. I mean, obviously, if I just had a different transmission bottom, that would work. But I don't. I don't. So a little trick. Say, like, I wanted to get glue in that screw, but I couldn't get to it. But the glue gun's really hot. So I tipped it up like this, and my glue trail starts there, and the glue would drip down till it hits the metal stud. And because the metal stud's a lot colder than the glue, it's going to harden pretty quickly after touching it, because it's going to be a big heat sink drawing all the heat out of it. I did not get a very good connection though, so we're going to hit it with some more. Alright, so we got cardboard patching up this here, cardboard patching up this here. This is all glued down now. Cardboard patching up a little bit of airflow here, hot glued here, little hole here. I don't care that damn bad. This should be down lower. This should be closer to this. This is going to make it lose efficiency having this extra space up here. But this is better. It's going to be more efficient than what it was before, because I mean, this was held down with duct tape over here before, so. I usually try to keep hot glue out of my computer projects, but as you can see, I've totally failed that this time. I also usually try to keep my camera in focus, but I've totally failed that this time. Alright, so we've got her about built here. Final step, gonna rig up some kind of power button, which I'm just gonna take the light out of here and put her in the hole. GTX 295. I think this is a 6500 or something. It has component out. Got a capture card component in. Huh. I gotta feed these into each other. Oh wait, no, they don't have it. Got the.
Don't you also stuff 1996 Buick Roadmasters in the cornucopia?
I think this computer has a 1966 Buick Fieldmaster in it or whatever. You know, sometimes you can't afford a test pattern generator. So what I do is I point a camera at my couch when I'm trying to set up the convergence on my television. And since it won't make the tone, I just stand in front of the TV going... So I feel like I have a generator. And I took this foam I found dumpster diving. I can't see it, but there's like a double foam thing. And, well, now there's springs and blankets. And I haven't had much sleep all weekend, and I definitely want to sleep on this couch right now. It is so fucking soft. The only catch is it's cold. But, you know, it's winter. And if moving wasn't such a big concern, I would honestly like to have some of this stuff hooked up. This is analog television broadcast equipment here. Hell, I guess this technically is even some analog television broadcast equipment. It's just like I set up like a stopwatch or a timer on the screen, you know, control the position of it. All these different modes here. But it's all BNC because it's actually like kind of more professional. And you know, here got my little blonder tongue amplifier here, modulators. See, that little stand might have to go. Or I should say what's on it might have to go. I might have to just put that stuff somewhere else. Because I'm probably going to need a computer monitor for the main display on here. Because I want this to go to the TV. Or that's the capture card. No, that's the capture card. That's right. So yeah, I want this to go to the TV. But this is the main card. Yeah, I was considering taking the primary card and using a VGA composite thing. It wouldn't be useful for gaming, but it still would for streaming, and running it to a modulator and then amplifier. But I don't think I want to set up that complicated considering I have to move in 8 months. So I'm just going to bring a monitor over here and see what I can do, I guess. Damn it, 12-inch Trinitron. I wish I had another one of you. It'd be perfect for this setup. High resolution, high detail, small and light. In fact, the only monitor I have that currently doesn't have a proper home is that one. This monitor actually will be going on this desk once I deal with this crap. I've having a lot of issues with this, and I just haven't been working on it because I've had so many failures. You know, I wish I had the component version of that. That'd be nice. This TV, I think, only has 1 or 2 component inputs. I'm pretty sure I'm using them both. And I think it only has 1. I think this is because of being an older one, it only has 1. Yeah. And that's on the PlayStation 2. You know, it'd be a kind of out of place sin, but I am staring at an LCD right now. The only reason I even have these things is for target practice. You know, I remember a point in time where it was my goal to try to get rid of all the small monitors and get a whole bunch of really big ones. Now that I got all the big ones, it's like, damn, I wish I had some more small monitors. But there was a point in time where I only ran 1 or 2 computers at a time. Now I'm basically trying to have a whole warehouse in my house. I think there was a point in time I used to have people over so often that these top 2 shelves used to be dedicated lost and found shelves because I had people over often enough that that was an issue. I hope someday I can get my life like that again. You know what? This will have to be my test monitor for now. I ain't lugging a damn Trinitron with no base over there. You know what I could really go for? A 9-inch SVGA Trinitron. 800 by 600 is enough. I could still do what I needed to do. It'd be a great little test display. And I know they exist because Malachi used to have one. I'm pretty sure his was SVGA. You know, having something like my 9-inch my 9-inch IBM PS2 monitor, a lot of modern stuff needs a minimum of 640 by 480. I mean 800 by 600. So SVGA would be enough. You know, where's my power cords? Well, there's one. Well, there's a high wattage one, I think. Yeah. I know it's dark and probably out of focus. That probably made it more in focus. But just even look at this parts closet. Kind of scary to think about when it's a move. So I need a mouse to use with this. My trackball keyboard's kind of out of commission. My other trackball is packed away. But I know I found a trackball dumpster diving recently. I just got to figure out where I sat it. I normally despise these things. But this is probably fairly optimum for a computer they use on a couch. Because I can just sit this here and shrick-a-dee-dee-dee-dee. You know, I think that monitor has something that would really help me out there. Yeah, it's got USB on it. That would be really damn useful if I had that monitor over there and I used a USB A to B cable and string it along under here. In fact, I might even be able to get away with setting that monitor on top of this. Yeah, who knows? I might even get rid of all these speakers over here. I don't know, the Advents are in decent shape, but I don't know. I can replace speakers. I don't consider these super hard, rare collectibles in mint condition. You know, so it would not hurt me if I didn't bring them. I got speakers that sound better than them in a smaller package. So, when you think about it, I don't need them. I don't. Alright, this monitor must work because it has orange duct tape on the cord. My dad's wife, anything she wants people to know, this is hers! She puts orange duct tape on it. Even her goddamn cell phone. When nobody else in this house even wants a cell phone in this house. She had to put duct tape on it to make sure we know it's hers. Yep, it's all coming back now. I know what the story of this was. I forgot. I'd actually built, using my parts, I built her a personal computer to have in the living room. And she decided she was going to work on it. And she was ripping cards out of it while it was plugged in. Yeah, she toasted the motherboard and I wasn't supplying her any more parts. So she quit having a computer upstairs entirely. That was the solution, apparently. And this was going to get thrown out because she didn't want it anymore. See what we get. We got graphics card power light. Now, if I remember, the system will stay black for about 10 seconds or so before it posts. I think that's the post. Yeah. It gets really angry and then it calms down. I want to see the BIOS. Man, this looks so dim compared to a CRT. Come on. Yeah. That was a thing it did sometimes, wasn't it? You know, it'd be pretty badass if I got a drill bit this size and drilled a hole through the case. Because I kind of like that for a power switch. I kind of like that a lot. Now, I had to literally go through and touch a whole bunch of pins to figure out what did what. But if I was going to do something like that, I actually built this case where that's the back and this is the front because of that's how I use it in a LAN party. I have all the ports facing me because I'm always hooking stuff up. So my actual plan, I think, was that, yeah, for the power switch to go about right here. And I could have it so when it's in this mode, you know, I have a light to warn me. One more click over and I hit the power. And I can make it, we're back. Because this is the neutral position where the key comes out. I can make it so when I could do back for reset. So I need to reset the PC. It's assuming this supports a reset. I don't know if the HPZ 800 actually had a reset button. I don't think I actually own a drill bit of this size, so and I don't have the money to buy one. So in reality, this is probably just going to sit outside the case and still be my power switch. I also have to start yanking cards because right before it's about to boot, it should say press F1 to boot here, but instead it freezes. No num lock, control alt delete doesn't work. Fast power hit doesn't work. What if I hold it down? Pretty cool though. I definitely like it as a power switch. That is someday going to be a permanent part of this computer. I really like that. Well, after taking some cards out, I actually got some type of message telling me what's going on. DIM 1, CPU 0. So that should mean it's having an issue. What I think, this RAM stick up here probably just needs taken out and wiggled, but I kind of glued everything in place, so that's going to suck. So I'm hoping with a bath, I might be able to get some life back in this motherboard, but it's doubtful because I think the damage has been done. It's ran its course. And I'm trying to, I could not get this system going. I don't have money to dump into it. I think I killed the CPU by putting it in the wrong motherboard that was dead. Like the CPU smoked, the motherboard smoked and I tried turning it on. Give me a second, I'm doing a video. And as I was saying, I put it in the wrong motherboard and smoke came out of the motherboard and I tried turning it on and I think it toasted the CPU when I went to move it to the replacement motherboard. So I don't have any more Durons to test with. And I know they're like $6, but I don't have money to be buying parts like this left and right. So we're going to be using this guy. And I was checking through the drivers on here. And this thing has driver support all the way back to Windows 95. But it's 2 gigahertz. And I think it has either 3/4 or a gig of RAM in it. And I'm going to go a step further. I'm going to put my Voodoo 3 in it. And I'm going to run Windows 95 on this. Windows 95 with a Voodoo 3. 2 gigahertz, a gig of RAM. That sounds insane. Might as well put a Sound Blaster in it too. Looks like 95 isn't happening on this system. 95 can't boot with more than 480 megabytes of RAM, which I can't make the RAM go down that low. So we're gonna just go straight to ME. Alright, so first things first, we're gonna just throw this right in the trash and put a drive that'll actually work in it. Having a tape race. Having a tape race. Got me Millennials, Windows, and me's running, and now we're going to put the Super Voodoo graphics card. So that won't work. This is AGP 2 times, and this system is AGP 8 times. And it doesn't have the slot that's compatible with all AGPs. But, I got this other Voodoo. This is also a 16 megabyte Voodoo 3, and this one's PCI, so we're going to use it. This computer's been giving me nothing but problems. It doesn't like PCI graphics cards. So, I can't use a Voodoo in it. Still installing Unreal Tournament. I want to see how it runs with the internal card. If it's too bad, I got a GeForce 5200 FX. It's 128 megs. It would be not a bad card for this. And I'm now testing out my metal tapes. See how that sounds. This tape deck records better than this one. This one has wow and flutter, and the Dolby noise reduction doesn't sound good on it. While this one does not have the wow and flutter, and everything is just beautiful on here. But if this one gets overly gained, it farts. Well, Counter-Strike seems to play decently smoothly at 1024x768 in OpenGL mode. It actually is really unstable and looks awful in DirectX. I haven't tried software. And it's 1600 by 1200, which is the monitor's native resolution. It doesn't run so hot. I mean, it's like 20 FPS, but it does really good at 1024x768. Seems like it's keeping close to the refresh rate. I should really go to bed, shouldn't I? I mean, what am I doing? What the hell am I doing? I guess the onboard graphics ain't too bad. Kind of hard to play this game with just a keyboard. That might be the single most concerning power supply brand name I've ever concerned. Would you trust your computer with a sparkle power? That sounds like it's going to fucking catch on fire. I am considering throwing this keyboard out. This keyboard would only be useful for a hunt and pecker. I would have a better luck typing on a mechanical Alps keyboard that just switches with no caps in this thing, because the caps are almost completely flat and very wide. So when you try to touch type, you know how easy it is to hit two keys? You can't feel it. There's almost no... Are they completely flat? They have the slightest bevel to them, and there's no gaps between them. This thing is killed by its caps. It isn't the worst feeling rubber dome, but awful. Fucking awful. Like, I'm considering just putting it in the trash. I probably will just put it back on the pile. Maybe I can make some unfortunate soul have this when I don't like them or something. Toasty. Alright, got a high score in Unreal. Time to go back to doing practical stuff. I doubt I can save it, but I found the problem. That little air shroud thing I made must have scraped right here in the IC. The reason why I don't think I can save it is I can see that some of the traces have ripped off the PCB in the corner. I don't know what that chip controls. But there's our problem. I'm going to try very carefully and delicately with this pair of scissors on the point, trying to pull everything apart and getting it perfect. That is rough. I'm going to actually try getting that with an X-Acto knife. I need something very precise. Well, you're not gonna fucking believe this. You're not gonna fucking believe this. I'm curious if it's gonna have memory addressing issues. I think the whole problem was one of those pins probably shorted out to another. Let's see if it works. I still think I'm gonna have issues that make this motherboard unusable, but let's see if it posts. Let's see if it boots. No idea how that got damaged. It wasn't from this. Holy hell. I didn't think we'd get this far. So far, we're doing pretty standy here. I'm gonna go down to one core so I don't need to heatsink the boot. Or specifically so that... You know what? I guess I could just unplug the fan. These are speed step CPUs. And the way these CPUs work, they will keep throttling themselves down lower and lower and lower, and I can run them indefinitely without a heatsink. It just hurts performance. It's booting. It's booting. It's booting. It's booting. Against all the odds. It's booting. Ooh, I love that hard drive sound. It's booting! Yeah, damn it. This one feels a lot hotter than this one. You see, I actually had stripped out the screw in the bracket one side because the spring force is so excessive on here. I think, which actually has me afraid to take this out, because if I strip if I strip one of these corners, Not good. But yeah, I can proceed with the build of this system, apparently. It seems to function. I don't get it, but this is good, because I can't afford a replacement motherboard. Mind blown. Mind blown. Well, it's Sunday night, 10 p.m. Snowing. This would be the first snowstorm of me not being sick. I was pretty sick in the last snowstorm, so I didn't really get to enjoy it. And it melted in 2 days. And this one's probably going to melt too. It's been hanging on the warm side. It was raining all day today and yesterday. I outsmarted a strip screw hole. This is a solid core copper wire, like what you would see inside an Ethernet cable or a phone line when you'd go to run it. This is what it'd be if you stripped it back. And yeah, that's a stripped out hole, and that copper wedged into the threads and was able to get me a good bite. Now I can actually fully attach this heatsink. Well, I'm gonna dump this camera and edit this video. I know it wasn't the most exciting, but I had a very productive one weekend. And hopefully next weekend we can finish that up. Things are coming together.